another review and a quick test drive of the 2025 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid HEV all-wheel drive. All these badges, they are blacked out. In total, there are 3 electric motors in all-wheel drive application. Nothing in terms of climate control is buried into the infotainment system. This is why I like Toyota vehicles, and especially the latest generations of Toyota vehicles. So it's 1, 2, 3. There was a minor wheel spin, the front axle wheel spin, and it's very linear. There is no jerkiness, there is nothing because there is no conventional transmission. Good afternoon everyone, and today I'm sharing another review and a quick test drive of the 2025 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. This is the all-wheel drive model, and so let's see how much it costs and how it drives and how it feels inside. Let's go. Alright, 2025 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. This is the all-wheel drive version. This is basically the top trim, almost the top trim. Is it XSE? Yep, this is the XSE, which means this is the top trim Toyota Corolla Hybrid Cross you can get here in the United States, at least here in the United States. So from the design perspective, from the looks perspective, I don't see any major changes compared to 2023 or 2024, but I have to say that Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid was not available immediately at the launch here in the US. So the hybrid version actually was added to the lineup after a year, around a year after presentation of the gas-only powered Toyota Corolla Cross. So who are the competitors? What are the competitors of this Toyota? Obviously, it's Honda HR-V here in the US market. It's Mazda CX-30. It is Mitsubishi Eclipse Sport or Eclipse Cross. I don't remember exactly. It's Kia Seltos, I would say, and it is Hyundai Kona. And I have to say that Hyundai Kona, it exists in a few different versions, like a hybrid as well as the fully battery electric vehicle. But back to this Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. First of all, I really like how it looks. It is nondescript look. Obviously, nothing too crazy about this design because this is a mass-produced vehicle. It doesn't have to scream, "Look at me! I'm super sporty. I'm super fast. I'm mean," or whatever. So this vehicle should appeal to a wider audience of potential buyers. That's why it is toned down and it's very muted, I would say, in terms of the looks. But I don't have to, and I don't want to spend a lot of time discussing how this vehicle actually looks. To my perspective, I think it looks great as your daily commuter. I don't see any huge drawbacks in the exterior. So, I mean, everyone likes it or everyone dislikes it, or there are some people who, you know, to each their own, as we say. So in terms of LED lighting, so you can see the turn signals, the daytime running lights, the headlights, as well as the fog lights, they are all LED. You have the parking sensors up front here. You have this 17-inch alloy wheels. It's 225 by 55. Actually, it's 18-inch wheels. I want to say 18-inch wheels. You see the blacked out mirror caps, the blacked out roof rails. At the same time, the same chrome molding at the top of the window. And you see Corolla Cross here, but you have to be careful with these parts. So this is mimicking the aluminum part, even though it's just a plastic, but it oxides very quickly. So you have to check and you have to wipe off any water drops when you wash this car. Pay attention to this because we had Toyota Venza with very similar part. And what else do you have? So obviously rear parking sensors, you have the full LED tail lights as well. You see the Toyota Corolla Cross and XSE and HEV all-wheel drive. All these badges, they are blacked out as well. The crown clearance is about 7.5 inches, something like that. Let's talk about hybrid powertrain, which I think the most important here, because if you're looking to buy this vehicle, obviously you're interested in fuel economy, and you might be interested in some technical specs and how the power is being delivered to front wheels, to rear wheels, and how it actually operates. So let's take a look what's under the hood. So under the hood, this is M20AX FXS engine, which means this is, in the base, it's a 2-liter natural aspirated working by Atkinson cycle engine producing 150 horsepower. It is complemented by 2 electric motors here and 1 in the back. So in total, there are 3 electric motors in all-wheel drive application. If it's a front-wheel drive application, you will only have 2 electric motors. One is motor generator, the second one is traction motor, which actually connected connected to the front wheels and propelling the front wheels. And then there is the third electric motor in this specific car. It's so-called all-wheel drive on demand, because there is no drive shaft. There is no direct connection like using drive shaft like a regular all-wheel drive. So there is just a third electric motor connected, sitting on the rear axle, and basically providing you with all-wheel drive. But there is a delay. But when you floor this car, for example, you will see in the driving section of this video. So the total output is 196 horsepower. It's around 250, something like that, pound, 220, 230, like up to 250. I don't have exact numbers, pound-feet of torque. There is no conventional automatic transmission. It's so-called planetary gear set. The battery pack is lithium-ion battery pack. And yeah, so the total output almost 200 horsepower. Basically, this is the 5th generation, if I'm not mistaken, the 5th generation. So this is basically a carryover from the latest generation Toyota Prius. So it's 2-liter, and Toyota Camry has 2.5-liter version of the same 5th generation engine, which means you have slightly smaller sandwich of two motors, like traction motor and motor generator. And so what about fuel consumption in this car? So fuel consumption, this vehicle is EPA rated for 42 miles per gallon, which is 45 city and 38 highway. Why 38 highway? Because obviously the most efficient mode of this car is actually driving in the city limits during traffic jams, sitting in congestions and all this stuff. So where the electric engines actually kick in faster and more often than using just a gas engine, for example. So as I mentioned, no drive shaft between the two axles. What else you need to know? It's a regular front McPherson struts up front, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a multi-link in the back. I should check that. Yeah, it should be a multi-link in the back. I will add it if I need to. What's inside of this car? First of all, you have a keyless access, but for the front doors. Now you see the blind spot monitoring zone. We'll see, you see we have a moonroof. You have a power-operated front driver's seat, including lumbar support. And let's take a look if the passenger in this top trim has power-operated. No, it's manually adjustable front seats, unfortunately. So not for the passengers, just for the driver. So the cockpit is almost fully digital, but it's not fully digital. It's like half-baked digital gauge cluster, because you have like kind of not analog but monochromatic gauges for your tank and for your engine temperature. And in the middle of the screen, in the middle of this digital gauge cluster, you have a screen, so you can cycle through different settings and options showing your fuel efficiency and all this stuff. In terms of safety, this car is featured with a different safe assistance, like adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring zone, emergency braking, going forward, going backward. You have just a regular rear view camera with active trajectory, you have paddle shifters, so they can mimic the gear switching, obviously. No heads-up display, no 360 camera, unfortunately. You have dual zone climate control, and everything is buttons here, which is really nice. So nothing in terms of climate control is buried into the infotainment system. In terms of the infotainment system, it's small screens, around 8-inch screen. It's Toyota Connected Services 3.0 or 2.5, I don't remember exactly, but basically this is the same as you can find in different vehicles like Toyota RAV4, Grand Highlander, Toyota Venza from 2022 and up, if I'm not mistaken. Here you have heated front seats, you have USB Type-C charger, you have auto hold, you have electronic parking brake, and you have different drive modes, so you can cycle through eco, normal, and sport. We were in eco mode. Let's do normal mode. In terms of seating, so seating is okay, is nicely bolstered in terms of this side support and bolsters, but in terms of the cushion itself, it's on the shorter side. So I would prefer something, you know, probably longer, but at the same time it is still comfortable. So I'm surprised that the cushion is shorter, and I always complain about shorter cushions in front seats, but at the same time I don't feel like any discomfort here. So this is really nice, especially you will appreciate it being a taller driver like I am, for example. So this is a regular shifter, obviously, and there is also a wireless charging pad available there. So 2 cup holders and a small cubby under the central armrest, and another USB Type-C and a cigarette style lighter available here. So I'm sitting like that. Let's go to the second row seats. So I would sit it like that, and as a cup holder, fully automatic window switches, so you don't have to hold the button. So this is how I would sit behind myself. So really nice. Obviously I go up against the front seats, but nothing too crazy. Everything is soft, so you will not hurt your knees. So in terms of knee room, obviously it's limited, but if you want something larger, you should go with Toyota RAV4 Grand Highlander, for example. You have a black ceiling, you have a moonroof, you have map pockets available for the passenger seat only. You have AC vents, which is really nice, but no heated seats here. And you have armrest with 2 cup holders. So the sitting position is really nice, but you cannot adjust the reclining angle of the backrest, unfortunately. So let's go and take a look at the power operated trunk lid, which reveals access to around 30 cubic feet of cargo space. Here you have cargo cover, you have all regular stuff here, and you have a spare tire. No spare tire, because it's a hybrid. So you have a flat tire fix kit. And you have some storage and cubbies here. So everything is plastic, obviously, in this class. And cargo cover. And obviously you can fold down the seats, and so they go like that. They go down like this, and you will have almost a flat floor, but not exactly a flat floor. You will see like there is a small step. All right, and obviously it's a power operated trunk, so you can close and lock the vehicle. So what about pricing? So the top trim Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid all-wheel drive, it costs $36,007. So $36,000 for a fully loaded Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid with a moonroof, with dual zone climate control, heated seats, power operated driver's seat, and it's 2025. So this vehicle is built in assembly point. It's Huntsville, Alabama. This is a joint venture between Toyota and Mazda. So this is where actually Mazda CX-50 is being assembled as well, and Mazda CX-50 Hybrid as well. So what else we have? Sport suspension, sport driving mode. I'm not sure about sport suspension, so probably the spring rates, the shock absorber and spring rates are slightly different from a regular SE, for example, or maybe XLE or LE models. So maybe it's slightly firmer, but we'll see how it drives right now during the driving portion of this video, and then I will sum it up. In terms of pricing in general, this car as a hybrid starts from around $31,000, all-wheel drive. So I have to say that $31,000 for a all-wheel drive Toyota Corolla Cross is not too bad, especially considering nowadays prices are really high, expensive, and inflation. So let's take it for a quick drive and then let's sum it up. All right, now it's time to take this 2025 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid all-wheel drive for a quick spin. So we are in a residential area. We have a speed limit of 40 miles per hour, and now we're traveling fully EV mode. And now you see the energy split, the power distribution. So the power is coming obviously from the battery. It's a lithium-ion battery pack, sending power to front wheels. So when I'm coasting, obviously I have the regen working. Now a green light, no green light anymore. Okay, sitting in a traffic light. We'll see how the car accelerates from the stop, from the get-go. This is, if I'm not mistaken, guys, this is the 5th generation of the hybrid, Toyota hybrid systems. Because basically the powertrain is the same as Toyota Prius. So it's 2-liter natural aspirated Atkinson cycle, direct injection, and split injection engine. Yo, these guys, they don't know how to drive when there is a flashing red light. Flashing red light means as a stop sign. Alright, let's see how this car drives and performs over a really bad and rough pavement. Really nice. This is why I like Toyota vehicles, and especially the latest generations of Toyota vehicles, because I recently drove Toyota Corolla Hybrid sedan, just a regular Toyota Hybrid sedan, the base LE trim if I'm not mistaken, and you will see that video on my channel soon if you haven't watched it already, if you haven't seen it uploaded already. So what I want to say is that I thought that there will be more compromises in terms of spring rates and suspension, how firm the suspension could be, because basically this car is obviously based on the same platform as Toyota Corolla, regular Toyota Corolla sedan or hatchback, but I had an impression that Toyota will go with the firmer suspension, with noticeably firmer suspension, in order to make this hybrid cross, Toyota Corolla hybrid cross seat higher, to have like a more ground clearance and all that stuff. But surprisingly, like to my surprise, to my understanding and how I feel about this car, especially driving over rough pavement conditions, I see that the suspension is really nice. It's really softly sprung. It's on the cushy side of the things. So Toyota did a great job. So there is almost no compromise. If you really enjoy driving a regular Toyota Corolla, which is just a pillow on the road, it's like a lanyard, even though it may sound very laughable, because like usually when people say it's like a yacht on the road, it's like a road yacht, usually they refer to like luxurious vehicles, like huge barges, like Mercedes-Benz S-Class, E-Class, BMW 7 Series, but it's also applicable to these cars. I mean, if you haven't test driven this car yet, I would highly recommend you to do that, because you will really understand and appreciate this car. This car is not a fast car by any means. It has like 0 to 60 time of about 7.5, maybe close to 8 seconds, which is totally great, a decent time. This car really shines at regular city driving when you don't have to floor this car, even though I will try to do that so that you can see the acceleration. Yeah, I mean, the annoying droning noise of this car, obviously it's coming from the fact that this car doesn't have a traditional transmission, so you will not hear shifting gears or stuff like that, because this is so-called eCVT, but there's no conventional transmission. And so the only minor inconvenience maybe for your, for your reception of the car is that this whining noise, right? Whining noise. And so that's the only maybe drawback. I wouldn't say a disadvantage of this car. So, and as soon as you're actually coasting or cruising along, then it will not be a problem at all. Because in order to sustain the same speed, you don't have to accelerate too much again. So you will see what I'm talking about. So now you see this is a parallel hybrid. So the power is coming from both the battery and from the engine. Currently, at the moment, it's coming from the battery because I'm coasting around. So, okay, I had to make a stop. And now let's do a U-turn here. So actually driving over the rain gutters, I mean, it's so soft. Suspension is surprisingly soft. It's almost identical to a regular Toyota Corolla sedan or hatchback probably. Or maybe a hatchback is sprung slightly firmer. I'm not sure because I only drove a regular sedan. So in terms of NVH and general nose, obviously on a higher speeds you will feel the wind buffeting here somewhere by the A pillar, and this is something common in this class, obviously. Other than that, I'm hearing the noise, like excessive noise coming from the wheel wells. So this is another point of NVH coming from. Not so much from the firewall, from the engine compartment, but from wheel wells definitely, and from the tires themselves. Very comfortable driving, very comfortable. Extremely cushy, soft. You don't hear anything. So the power split is currently showing the engine. So engine is charging the battery. So let's try to engage the EV mode. So I'm coasting around. Yep, EV mode is on. And now, so it's 42 miles per hour. During regen, obviously, the power is coming back to the battery to charge the battery. And now I will have like a slight acceleration. Again, bad road conditions here. Very, very cushy. Okay, let's engage the engine and then let's let off the pedal. All right, EV mode. We're back into EV mode. So slight acceleration. The power is coming from the battery, but there was a few times where I noticed that the power is coming from the battery to not only the front wheels, but to the rear wheels, to all four as well. So there are some situations, I'm not sure about exact algorithms and how all this works, because obviously it's really a software which decides what to engage and when to engage. But you need to know that even if you're driving in a full EV mode, it doesn't mean that you are deprived of the all-wheel drive. So during some circumstances and situations, rear axle will be engaged as well. What a pleasing vehicle to drive. Yes, it's very boring. Yes, it's slow compared to some other cars, but at the same time, it's softly sprung, it's quiet, relatively quiet. This is the 5th generation of Toyota hybrid system. Like, what else do you need for your daily commute? As a daily commuter car, I think Toyota and Honda, they are just the best vehicles in class, frankly speaking. So turning radius, not the best in class, but still very nice. You see how boaty this car is. So it rocks to the left, to the right. Some people love that, some people don't. Yeah, and all these movements, they're really linear. So let's accelerate a bit here. So it's 1, 2, 3. There was a minor wheel spin, the front axle wheel spin, obviously because there is a delay. Obviously, if you have a direct connection using a proper drive shaft between two axles, there is like immediate reaction to that. But if you're not using that, like in this case, there is the third electric motor sitting on the rear axle. So by the time it engages, there is like a half of second delay, and that's what causes the front wheels to spin, which is absolutely expected if you're familiar with the engine and technology and how this actually works. Yeah, totally. I would recommend this vehicle like 10 out of 10. ...2025 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid all-wheel drive. What I'd like to say, first of all, I'm really impressed on how cushy this vehicle, how softly sprung the suspension of this vehicle is, especially compared to relatively recent test drive of the Toyota Corolla, like a regular Toyota Corolla sedan, a hybrid LE, so the base version of Toyota Corolla. I thought that my expectation before driving this vehicle was that there will be a compromise in terms of, in order to make up for ground clearance. Obviously, if you go with Toyota Corolla Cross, obviously you want more ground clearance, more cargo space, more maybe passenger compartment, you know, you'd like to see it higher than a regular Toyota Corolla. So probably there would be compromise made by Toyota, but there's no compromise. Actually, the suspension is basically identical to a regular Toyota Corolla, which I drove, the LA version. Even though the Toyota sticker on the window says that it's a sport suspension, I didn't feel any sportness of this suspension. It's very comfortable, it is very soft, and the body of the car, it pitches and rocks from side to side, so it's boaty. You have this boaty feel when the car does like that, you know, so you may have like a seasick because of that, like seasickness. And yes, I'm joking. Obviously, it's not that boaty like some of the cars in upper luxury segment, but at the same time, it's very comfortable. So if you prefer a very softly sprung car, this is the car for you. Like a small CUV vehicle. In terms of all-wheel drive, I have demonstrated how all-wheel drive means, how all-wheel drive, sorry, works and what it means in this specific application, like the power distribution and all that stuff. Also, I have to say that it's direct injection and split injection motor, so you have two sets of fuel injectors. What else is interesting about this car? It's really peppy, even though 0 to 60 is around 7.75 probably seconds. So, but it's decent. You will feel probably will have the perception of this vehicle is really peppy vehicle for city driving. Obviously, we're not talking about like highway pulls and competition with other vehicles on the road and highways, for example. Obviously, the most efficient driving mode and habitat for this vehicle, obviously, it's city driving, where you can get like up to 42. So real driving, real life driving would be probably upper 30s, like lower 40s, if you really gently drive this car. In terms of the trim and options, I would say that it's more than enough for daily driving. I would like to have probably slightly longer cushion for the seat, but that's about it. And the rear seat, they do not recline. Maybe it's a deal breaker for you, maybe not. The infotainment system is very basic, but all you need is just to hook up your phone and use the CarPlay and Android Auto. So overall, I really like this vehicle. It's a great commuter car, and if you really like to have something very comfortable, relatively quiet, the only drawback for that is that the wheel wells, they produce a lot of noise, a lot of NVH coming from the wheel wells as well as from the tires themselves. So other than that, I don't see any major drawback. It's extremely efficient, it's very soft, and it's very linear. There is no jerkiness, there is nothing, because there is no conventional transmission. So I would highly recommend buying this vehicle. And if you're looking for a new Toyota vehicle, or maybe looking for a Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid vehicle, please come and visit Toyota, courtesy Toyota here in Brandon, Tampa Bay area, and ask for Tiffany. They have a lot of these cars available. No markups, no nothing. I mean, maybe window tint, and that's about it, but you can negotiate that. So really surprised to see that basically there is no compromise between Toyota Corolla regular sedan and this sitting higher up Toyota Corolla Cross. So highly recommend buying this vehicle if you're looking for a great and reliable commuter car for you, or maybe you and your family. So please subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.